So I brought this bill. I guess I'll identify myself for the record. Yasmin Trudeau again, representing the 27th. I brought this bill. It's not a flashy bill. We got a couple folks from our community that are stewards of our waters that touched Tacoma and the 27th district that you'll hear from, but it's a meaningful bill, which is why I'm bringing it forward. It does a thing, as staff had mentioned, that's really commonplace in other criminal cases. It's permissive. Statutory authority, and it allows judges to order restitution when they've determined that a crime has occurred. So it means once they've made that determination that a conviction is appropriate, that it allows them to look at all the facts of the case and make a determination on how to make the problem whole, which is why we offer restitution in criminal cases in general. When it comes to our air, our water, or those that release hazardous substances that we end up spending years of budgets trying to clean up and tons of taxpayer dollars, we're always playing catch up. Those folks should be held accountable, and they should be held accountable in a way that achieves true justice and that deters others from thinking or doing anything that is going to cause that same harm to our environment. So I bring the bill before you, and I think it's a good piece of policy. It's something that we've all agreed applies when folks commit criminal violations, and we should do the same for our environment. Thank you so much.
My name is Melissa Malott. I'm the Executive Director of Communities for a Healthy Bay in Tacoma, and I think that this bill is really important, and if it's passed, it will address an important inadequacy in our current legal framework for environmental protection. The pressing need for this bill is underscored by some recent environmental incidents in Tacoma and the Puyallup River watershed, notably the Trident Seafood ship fires in 2021 and 2023, and Electron Hydro's illegal disposal of artificial turf into the Puyallup River in 2020. These occurrences involving companies with a history of environmental violations bring to light the existing gaps in our legal system, one of which is that companies are not held responsible to pay restitution for the harm they cause when they commit environmental crimes. Now, I'll just go over Trident Seafood's fires. It was not an environmental conviction, but I think it's an important example to bring up about why restitution is important. So Trident Seafood's ship fire in 2021 resulted in considerable air and water pollution, imposing substantial costs on the city, including over a week of heightened fire department activity. They were fined $25,000. But they're a company that brings in a total of $2.6 billion per year. So a $25,000 fine is not consequential. I don't believe that fine is meaningful for a company of that size, and it doesn't come close to covering the costs of environmental pollution when companies commit that type of crime. Unfortunately, they had a recurrence of that event in 2023 with another ship fire, except it was worse. There was hazardous air pollution, the city underwent a shelter-in-place order, and schools were delayed. This just underscores the need for more substantial fines and consequences for companies that cause environmental pollution and especially commit environmental crimes. In the case of Electron Hydro, the company committed some egregious actions and appropriately received the largest environmental crime fine in state history of $1 million. But that penalty being the largest in state history is underwhelming given the magnitude of damage caused by environmental crimes in the state. The pollution caused by Electron Hydro will likely be hurting and killing salmon for years and decades to come. Environmental crimes have a horrible impact on people and the environment, and the state should be able to hold companies accountable for repairing the damage they cause. This is especially relevant in Tacoma, a city that's trying to overcome a legacy of industrial pollution, but is faced with lax enforcement, recurring industrial fires, compromised air quality, and water pollution that affects the environment and public health adversely. Tacoma already grapples with severe health disparities exacerbated by proximity to industrial sites. And in some parts of Tacoma, we have people live 25 years shorter lives than in parts of the city without that pollution. I support Senate Bill 5884, and I urge you to do so because it's an important step towards rectifying this issue and allowing the state to mandate that companies bear the financial responsibility for the environmental and public costs incurred due to their crimes. I urge the committee to consider the broader implications of environmental justice and equity and support the passage of Senate Bill 5884. Thank you for your time.